Welcome everybody to Write Better Together, Afterthoughts, where we talk about something we've already talked about. Hey, look, everybody, it's Emily Brooks. Can you explain that better than I just did?
Hi, John Myers. Um, yeah, a lot of times it's our first couple of these afterthoughts are just us responding to our own call to action because if we ask you to do a call to action, then it means we think it has value, and so we're going to do the call to actions too, and so this is a chance for us to share them. Other times it's going to be because we mentioned something in the episode that was kind of a rabbit trail or a can of worms, and so this is where we go a little deeper into those.
I can't imagine us going on a rabbit trail. Can you?
So today we thought we would just respond to Bob Sáenz call to action to step outside and write a log line about the first thing you see. And we just wrote these. Like,
So when we originally thought of doing this community, we were going to participate alongside of you with everything, and we haven't been doing all of the call to actions.
yeah,
So we just did
yeah.
a call to action, and we gave ourselves 5 minutes.
And we felt like we were in school.
Yes, I was pressured.
But I think we both, the thing that when we stepped outside, we did it as if it was us leaving the film festival. So we took it
Correct.
from, we didn't just step outside right now. We stepped outside when we left the film festival, but we're just now writing the log line.
That way we could match. So Danny had done one, and Ashley had done one when at the film festival. That way we could
Right.
match at least some of the circumstances that they did theirs under.
Although I'll give away that mine's not about an inanimate object.
Nor is mine.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first?
No,
Because I
but
don't
I
want to go
will.
first.
So, by the way, speaking of Ashley, so I didn't have my glasses on, and then I just put them on so I could read this because Inky has really small handwriting, and I remember. So she didn't recognize me at the film festival because I didn't have my glasses, or online I don't have my glasses on, even though I do on this podcast. But then
Oh.
but then I had them. I'm the same guy. This is not Clark Kent and Superman, but it is proof that a pair of glasses, Ashley Hargrove, can change like people in the entire metropolis don't know the
It
difference
makes
because he has a
all the
pair of glasses
difference. Some glasses, sunglasses, and a baseball cap with no branding. Irrecognizable.
on. Yep, you don't even recognize the biggest superstar in those
Yeah.
circumstances. All right, here we go. So when I walked out of the theater, I saw this couple. So that was the first thing I saw was a couple. Sadly, in this log line, they're not a couple anymore.
Oh,
A recently widowed man struggles to continue his plan to throw his wife her dream golden anniversary party despite her sister's many objections.
that's so sad.
That's what I
But
for.
also really sweet because I imagine him like going all out on this party.
Did you see this couple?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I love it, and I like that you have the evil sister who is trying to keep things from happening. I like it's succinct. I have emotions for this widowed man.
And it doesn't have like before all heck breaks loose, or before their world is changed forever. It doesn't have any like vague nonsense to it. And what doesn't it have? It doesn't have something that I love.
Mm.
What tell the
So
people.
you Oh, I have to tell them what you don't love?
There's an element, an optional element, and it does not have it.
It doesn't have romantic comedy.
Oh, no. So you're correct. It doesn't have that. But well, because I'm not. We just did this as homework, right? And so it could, I also thought that she could be like an event planner, and now he has to do all this stuff without her. And so
Mm.
like I gave them a backstory. No, it doesn't have the ticking time clock. And
Oh, I thought you were saying that.
however, there's a
Okay.
reason that it has to be done by their golden anniversary. They have a date that it has to
Yeah.
be done by. So the ticking time clock is embedded in the log line.
Yes.
All right,
Yes. I like that.
let's hear yours.
Oh gosh. Okay. Um, what I saw when I stepped out was a rainforest zoo, which was interesting.
Okay.
So mine is a manic depressive zookeeper fakes the death of a violent monkey so that she can release it into the wild before the zookeepers put it down themselves.
Whoa.
I don't I don't know how, but that's what she's going to do.
We've talked about therapy on this show before. I'm going to need therapy after listening to that poor monkey. First, in a previous episode, you were mean to Baggy. Now you're mean to a monkey.
Well, writers, we kind of have to be mean to our character. You killed off this guy's wife.
Oh, true. Good point. And then we're laughing about it. What's wrong with us?
So I've never written a story like this. Ever since I graduated from grad school, I've only written fantasy. So this is like the first story I've come up with that's not fantasy. I don't think I'll ever write it. I will say that. But
Very, very grounded.
yeah. Unless somehow the monkey has a magical ability that all of the zookeepers from around the world are trying to steal it, like Beethoven or Airbud, to get money off of it.
I have to rewatch them. But we need to rewatch. We need to have an episode just about all the Airbuds.
John and I were just John, my husband, and I were just talking about how many 90s movies were about animals. Like, so many of them were animal based.
True.
Yeah. Like you said, every screenwriter has a dog movie, right?
A talking dog movie. We all have them. You ready for my talking dog movie?
I really want to hear your talking dog movie.
So, in a previous episode, or maybe in a future episode, because we don't know when these afterthoughts wind up, and
That's true.
which is fine. I talked about the dog because all screenwriters have dog movies, talking dog movies. And I talked about mine, not in comparison with Wes Anderson's Olive Dog, but with an awareness of it. And so this was written 2 years before I knew about Isle of Dogs, which the stories have nothing to do with it. And then it took another 2 years. So Isle of Dogs didn't come out until 2018. So this was written by 2014 baby John Myers. So here we go. A millennial inventor struggles to choose between two suitors, a nerdy co-inventor or a wealthy potential investor, as she fends off a corporate takeover of her successful home shopping network. And everybody is a dog.
I was like, where are the dogs? I was so confused the whole time. Okay, you got to read it again now that I know that it's dogs.
I told you it was a talking dog movie to start with.
Yeah, but the whole time I was waiting for the dog, and so I got to hear it again.
A millennial inventor struggles to, which now, because it's 10 years later. So that needs to be, right now, that needs to be Gen Z.
Yes.
Right. So a Gen Z inventor struggles to choose between two suitors, a nerdy co-inventor or a wealthy potential investor, as she fends off a corporate takeover of her successful home shopping network. And everybody's the dog.
I love it. I don't know if I've told you this, but I watch a lot of Korean shows.
Uh-huh.
And that sounds like that could be a premise for one of the Korean shows that I watch. Only they wouldn't be dogs, but they could be.
It's very John Hughesian in that you have the nerd against the rich guy, but they're dogs.
Yeah. But
And
they're dogs.
this is fully outlined with because I only write ensembles with 16 different characters. I just never wrote it, and I probably will again someday. Um, the criticism that I had. Would you like to criticize it first? What is your criticism of it?
I don't currently have anything.
Okay. My criticism is the antagonist is she fends off a corporate takeover of her home shopping network. The antagonist is not you know what's happened. You can't put a face to the antagonist, right?
Yeah.
Not that you. It needs to be something more. There needs to be more specific. It needs to be more specific than a corporate takeover. And I would probably rewrite that today because again, this is 10 years ago. To have the ticking time bomb in that. So as she fends off a corporate takeover, would turn into before the hostile takeover, before the company goes public or whatever. Like whatever the financial stuff has to happen before it goes public, and then it would have the ticking time bomb, and there'd be more of a face to the antagonist, I think.
And then in the beginning, did you say she must choose between?
She struggles to choose between.
Struggles to choose between. And then it says before.
A millennial inventor struggles to choose between two suitors as she fends off a corporate takeover of her successful home shopping network.
Okay. Because what I was going to say is it doesn't feel like the two struggles are connected. But also I think that that's something that can be played out in the actual story.
Very good. My mentor at the time criticized this because it's a hat on a hat. Do you know what a hat on a hat is?
I have a guess.
Okay. Let's hear your guess and then I'll correct.
Is it like about there being two conflicts?
A hat on a hat is you have a perfectly good story. What do you need the second story for, right? You have on a hat. Why do you need a hat on a hat? But since I write ensembles, and the listeners at home don't know this yet, but Emily has just started watching Seinfeld for the first time in her life, right?
Yeah.
And every Seinfeld episode is a hat on a hat on a hat. There's it has an A story, a B story, and a C story that all come together at the end. And so, in my defense to my mentor, who I love, he's fantastic. I'm okay, and I say that a lot online and in my teaching. I'm okay with a hat on a hat on a hat. On a hat.
I think it particularly works well with.
But you have to do it right, and you have to tie them all together thematically. Yeah. Which you can't tell that in a logline. And but I could do a better job at the logline, so you could tell that. So I am not anti hat on a hat. But
no, and again, especially with TV shows, like I was saying, like how it reminds me of the Korean shows that I watch, is a lot of them, they're like 16 episode miniseries, and they always have ensembles, and there's always B plot, C plot, D plot. Like there's all kinds of stuff going on, and that's part of what I think makes the world, like, enriches the story world. And then when everybody comes together, it's really satisfying.
Yeah, when there's a nice bow at the end that ties them all together. Mm-hmm. Just our brain likes that. The DNA of our brain likes when a story comes together like that.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so we're trying to keep the afterthoughts where they're more easily consumable, easily digestible. So we're going to end this one now, and then we're going to have another afterthought called Emily's something, and we're going to read Emily's logline on the next afterthought, the afterthought.
The afterthought. Because we just have too much to say.
We do, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Couldn't have done it without you.
There you go.